how important in this whole thing is the ecosystem. And I think that we've slightly talked about it yesterday, and I feel like sometimes it's almost impossible to become a really, let's call it a unicorn or a really big company in an ecosystem that isn't yet fully developed, because you're missing people that have specific knowledge, that have done this before, and that have scaled a company to basically, I don't know, 10 million ARR, and that have done growth, that have done marketing. Is that even possible in such an ecosystem?
Well, I discussed with Vedran as well today. Ecosystem is super important. It's super important. It takes time to build up an ecosystem. And I give you my perspective, my view. An ecosystem is made by many factors, but three are key and central. It's about people, it's about culture, it's about capital. And you need to find the balance of these three. And let's start from capital, because any big and large and well-capitalized ecosystem. And again, let's do a step back. Definition of ecosystem. Quite often we define the ecosystem for geography, but could be for area of expertise. But let's stay for geography for a while. Any large venture capital ecosystem in Europe or even in the US is always a mix of public and private money. At the very beginning, it's public money. We discussed yesterday about the man on the moon, the project itself, foster innovation on connectivity for 20 years in US, or the semiconductor industry.
Fairchild, Semiconductors, Intel, all of these guys were literally funded by the US Army.
Again, this was all back on money from American taxpayers. So I think any ecosystem, first and foremost, needs to see venture capital not as innovation, but as an important leg of innovation, and needs to put capital at work in a significant way, and needs to understand that this capital does not have a return tomorrow. Everybody wish, but it's a 10 years time frame at least, and maybe you don't get the money back, but is the effect you have on society, jobs, knowledge, and so on, know-how, and so on. And then you define a perimeter of opportunity, and then the private capital kicks in and makes the market flourish and become, of course, a proper asset class. So I'll give you an example of Italy. Of course, it's an ecosystem I tend to understand and know pretty well. Third economy in Europe, and again, 61, 62 million people, and we still lagging behind compared to UK, France, or even Spain, which is a smaller country with a smaller economy. The reason why the capital was not there, but the effort of the government in the last 4 or 5 years, they put 2 billion in the system, and now you can see the effect. You can see
just for startups or
for startups and funds.
We should move to Italy then. That's
no. I mean, the effect was you got unicorns, but besides that, there was this idea that people belong to a community, that people could share story, people could share talent, could find talent, and that's important. And now we are seeing a lot of venture capital, new venture capital in Italy, and as well from abroad coming to Italy to invest in our portfolio companies, which is great. So this is part one. The second element is about people, and in particular is about again, I do have a banking background, so it's about tech people. It's about tech talent. And here it's very complex. Of course, we are going to discuss something I don't have competences to do, but it's a matter of education. It's a matter of university and so on. But it's important that any country invest in that area a lot. I think in our portfolio company, there is a constant struggle to find very smart engineers. It's always a shortage of that. And I think it's super important that the ecosystem could invest in that area. And again, it's a matter of capital. It's a matter of, put together a strong community around that. Close links to university. And third, it's about culture. And the moment you put these two things together, you got great founders. Our job is, and again, the try and learn mentality, that's part of what we can do. And if you got the right culture with the right set of capital, put at work with the right technical talent, that's how the venture capital ecosystem will work.